fuck is up, my britches? If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany. I know it's been a minute. I look a little different. I got nice and tan. I just got my hair did. My hair has never been this fucking long ever, but I am so deeply invested in this whole Urban Decay Skindinavia situation. And nobody on YouTube is talking about it, and I can't fucking believe it. So naturally, here I am. Welcome back. It's time to talk about the probably greatest, I'm going to say greatest partnership that the makeup industry has probably ever seen. And if you aren't familiar, we're talking about the Urban Decay All-Nighter. If you didn't know, this has always, I had a little bubble. This has always been made by Skindinavia. Like, even if you look on the packaging, it literally says Urban Decay by Skindinavia because Skindinavia owns the patent to the technology of this formula. So, Urban Decay fucked up, and I shouldn't even just say Urban Decay. I feel like it's more L'Oreal because L'Oreal has acquired Urban Decay since I think it was like 2012. We're getting into all the details as we get into it. But Skindinavia is fucking pissed, and I don't blame them. They're standing on business, and I am here for it. So naturally, I need to talk about it to somebody because I'm talking to my husband about it, and he's just like, okay. I'm so deeply invested. So I am very curious as we go through this stuff, like what you guys think about it. Have you guys even heard about it? Because I just happened to catch it off of Instagram, just kind of on a whim. And I was like, wait, what's actually going on? So then the more that I was seeing about it, the more I'm just like, oh, this is like a big deal. This is a big thing. And Skindinavia is real pissed about it. And as they fucking should be. And we're going to get into those details. So if you're into this like hot topic or whatever, I'm going to do my makeup. At least I'm going to try to at the same time. Because I'm getting remarried in like a week. And I have no idea what makeup I'm going to wear. So, there's that. I also don't even have my dress picked out. So, queen of procrastination over here. So, naturally, we're just here to kiki, chit-chat. And, yeah, I just more or less want to know what the fuck you guys think about it. Because, one, I'm nosy. And then, two, I'm just so deeply invested. And I really hope this is really good for Skindinavia. Because, I mean, I feel like everybody that has been in the beauty space knows about Skindinavia. Like, I don't know, it's just weird because as social media has evolved and stuff like that, I feel like nobody ever talks about Skindinavia. And then once I started talking about this whole situation, I'm like, oh, people still know about Skindinavia. It's just I feel that the Urban Decay All-Nighter has always been more accessible, especially when it goes on sale. So I have always been the first one to tell you, go back like since the beginning of time on my channel, I have always said to you guys, like, I do not purchase this unless I get it at a discount, and I still feel that the Skindinavia is better. And knowing that they're made by the same company, it's like, why the fuck wouldn't I just buy from Skindinavia? I don't know. I think the packaging's better with Skindinavia. I've always felt that way. I think the formula, I would rather support the small business versus the big business. But like I said, it always, like, this always goes on sale during, like, the 21 Days of Beauty and stuff like that. So I feel like this has really gained the popularity because it's won awards. It's been around for 15 years. Like, it's been around forever. So it's like everybody knows this product. And it was really nice to see that people haven't forgotten about Skindinavia, but I still feel like there is so many people that have no idea who they are, nor did they know that Skindinavia has always made this product. And yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Molly. Hi, is it Ilsa? I almost read Lisa. Thank you, guys. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, and I'm like catching you guys up and also creating probably unnecessary drama. Actually, it's not unnecessary because I'm Team Skindinavia right now. Like, I will always stand up for small business standing up to big business, just because it happens so often. And just reading about everything and being as invested in this as I am, I'm just like, nah, we're Team Skindinavia, and I'm gonna do everything that I can as a social media content creator to make people aware of this because it's fucked up. Like, there's no other way around it. Kimberly said, I'm so glad you friggin' warned us. And that's where it's like, I don't want to sit here and say, like, this is how you should spend your money, because if you want to buy something, fucking buy it. But if you're contemplating or if you're in the market, I'm going to say, like, I would definitely recommend buying from Skindinavia, because I definitely feel like they've been done very dirty. And ultimately, it's just like, if they're the ones making it, why wouldn't you want to just throw your money at them? And not only that, the size of the product that you're getting, like, so Urban Decay All Nighter, the original, this has been, I think, like $36 or $38, and it's 4 ounces. You can get almost the same formula through Skindinavia, double the amount of product for about the same price. No brainer. It's just not as easily accessible. However, it has been brought to my attention that it's available on Amazon, so you can get it like next day shipping. How is that not accessible? I don't fucking know. Anyways, I'm gonna get off my soapbox for a minute, and then we'll get into all the tea, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through everything as I do my makeup as well. Yes, ma'am, got it right. Yes, girl. I love the Skindinavia spray. I tried it on a whim from Beauty Bay last year or 2 years ago. I love it. Thank you, Stacy. We're doing it next week. We're going on vacation. I can't fucking wait. Love it. I love the spray component and the formula. The spray component on the Skindinavia, it's top tier. It's so good. If you've never tried it before, make this your opportunity to try it. Like I said, if you're in the market for a spray, highly, highly, highly recommend. And I think we should all be throwing money at Skindinavia right now just to prove a point and just to be as petty as Urban Decay is right now. Actually, the pettiness goes both ways. But when Skindinavia is being petty, I'm here for it. And I'm going to show you the things that I'm talking about. And I'm just like, I am living for it because it's so relatable to me because I do own a small business. And if this was happening to me, I would be just as fucking mad, man. It's annoying. Anyways, let me walk you through everything that's been going on. In case you're just like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about, Brittany? This is what started the whole damn thing. All right, could you guys see that? I just got like a notification on my screen that it wasn't going to let me screen share. Can you guys see the screen share? I'm going to try to do my makeup at the same time. And I really wish that I had a Skindinavia spray right now just so I could be like product placement for the whole video, but unfortunately I do not. However, we're going to still keep it pushing. So this is what really caught my attention with the whole situation. So Skindinavia, I just happened to see this. Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just fate, I guess. We're just going to call it that. So when it says we truly didn't want to come to this, I'm like, okay, you have my attention. The most successful collaboration in makeup has ended after 15 years. So this has been a 15-year partnership between Urban Decay and Skindinavia, which that alone is wildly impressive to me, just because it's like, it's iconic. Like, this has always been such an iconic collaboration. But like I said in the beginning, I feel like so many people didn't even know that Skindinavia was a part of this. So I'm glad that this is happening for Skindinavia because this is their formula. This is everything that they designed. This is what they've worked for. And Urban Decay has been stealing the sunshine this whole time because people didn't know, or at least some people didn't know. So perfect way to catch my attention right now. I'm like, oh, what's the tea, sis? So then on the next slide, since 2010, Skindinavia has probably made the all-nighter setting spray for Urban Decay. I feel like maybe it's because I'm not like super active on Instagram. I've never seen Skindinavia be like so vocal that they were the ones that like created it or the ones that did it. I feel like this was the first time I'm seeing them being like, you know what, we're gonna fucking say something. And then next it says, it was the first and only makeup setting spray to work by cooling the makeup, not just sealing it. The patent is owned by Skindinavia. So this formula is patented by Skindinavia. So that's where it's just like, oh, this is really interesting. Really interesting. See, Alexandria said, I had no idea they were working together. Right, you had no idea for 15 years. Isn't that crazy? That's where I'm just like, I feel like this is such a moment for Skindinavia. And this is where it's like, it's gotta suck going through it because it was 15 years. But then again, I feel like this is like a new beginning for Skindinavia. And I love that for them. So the next slide. Our partnership was built on trust, sealed with a handshake, and carried for 15 wonderful years. Sadly, Urban Decay and its parent company, L'Oreal, have chosen to end their partnership with Skindinavia. So for them to be posting this, I'm automatically like, something happened. Like, we know that there's probably like contracts and stuff like that. For them to be vocal about this and be saying it like so firmly, like as I'm reading it, I'm just like, they mean fucking business right now. Something happened and I want to know what it is. So then I'm like, okay, now I'm invested. Urban Decay's All-Nighter Setting Spray new formula has changed from the original, calling it right the fuck out. Protected by Skindinavia's US patent 9198840. The active cooling ingredients are no longer used. So the formula is going to be different. Whether or not Urban Decay wants you to know that or not, it's going to be different, even though they're claiming it still has cooling properties or whatever. To promote their new version, Urban Decay has taken to social media to diminish the existing all-nighter setting spray formula, which Skindinavia will still make. So as Urban Decay is promoting their new formulation of their all-nighter setting spray, which they're keeping the same name, which is so fucking annoying, I feel like that's what makes this situation so much worse, is because Skindinavia and Urban Decay have worked together to build this product up for so long. And it's like, y'all are going to change it and take all the fucking credit for it? Like, no, we're not going to stand for that. Absolutely not. That's why I titled this as the downfall of the all-nighter setting spray, because I really feel that after this like gets aired out and people know about it, I don't know if a lot of people are going to be supporting Urban Decay setting sprays. I don't think people are going to ever cancel a brand completely. Like, you'll still catch me buying a Moondust eyeshadow because I fucking love them. But I will no longer purchase an all-nighter setting spray. I don't care if it's on sale. It could be a fucking $1. I ain't gonna buy it. So I feel like this is very much the downfall of the all-nighter. And if it was something as simple as renaming it, you're gonna reformulate it, rename it. That way you can have your own setting spray, because as a business, it makes sense why you would cut ties with a relationship. You obviously want to make more money. You want to be greedy, whatever. We get it. But change the fucking name. Skindinavia earned that product. I'm going to say it. They earned that product. For this very formula has over 50,000 glowing 5-star reviews and is honored in the Allure Beauty Hall of Fame. If I could talk, that would be great. Which, those two stats alone, highly impressive. Like, how are you going to try to fucking take that away from them? I'm going to get mad as I'm talking about this. I'm just going to warn you guys now. Most small brands can't stand up for big companies, but Skindinavia will. And we hope this might inspire others to do the same when being bullied. Urban Decay's parent company, L'Oreal, made over $10 billion in 2024. Yeah, they got deep pockets. L'Oreal's got time for shit like this. A small business like Skindinavia, probably not so much, but they're going to say, fuck it, we're going to do it anyways. Because you know what? When you work for something that hard and develop something and have something as coveted as an Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, the original, yeah, we're going to fight for that shit. And I really hope that they do, and I hope they fucking win, because they just should. Our award-winning formula is still here for you. Available through Skindinavia and our trusted partners. It has been with you through your life's special moments. It will only change when you decide it should, not us. With deep gratitude, we thank you, Skindinavia. And that on period. So naturally, we all see this. I said I was going to do my makeup, and I'm over here just like, no, I'm way too wrapped up in this right now. But we're going to try it anyways, okay? I got some new products I got to try, or test out for you guys too. So, yeah, naturally, when I read all of that, I'm like, this is about to get juicy. Something's going on, and I'm going to find out what it is. So I posted about it on TikTok. Blew the fuck up. I think it has, like, over 300,000 views on it, which I'm like, cool, love that for me. But I love it even more for Skindinavia. So I posted that video, and then I started seeing more and more people talking about it, and it's more or less like, you can only say so much because we don't know what else is going on. So then I started looking into, okay, why would Skindinavia be so upset about this? So then I started looking into the advertising, and I'm like, oh, this makes sense now. So let me show you exactly what they're posting, and you can't tell me that this wouldn't just grind your gears, okay? So they're posting this new all-nighter formula. Like I said, they are keeping the original name. So naturally, automatically, that's going to be annoying as fuck. The best just got even better. So they're saying this is a better formula. All new all-nighter setting spray now lasts longer than ever with 24-hour wear, finer mist, temperature cooling technology, and a refresh scent. Remember that, okay? Because it's going to be important. I'm probably going to elaborate on it as we get there, but I just want you to remember that temperature cooling technology, because it's very, very important to the conversation. So I started seeing all the advertising, and I'm like, All right, yeah, something definitely is going on here, so I want to find out what the fuck it is. I'm so nosy, and apparently I had time the past couple days, so yeah, I've been posting about it, I've been talking about it, and the more that I post about it, the more shit that I find out. So it wasn't really until today when we got some serious tea, and this is what really blew this whole thing wide the fuck open, and this is where I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for. Us that are nosy, we love shit like this. So I got a DM today, and this is Skindinavia's side of the story, because initially they weren't really saying anything. Like, it's like they were saying things without saying it, you know what I mean? So then we come across this article. Skindinavia got themselves a little interview and told us what the fuck is going down over at Urban Decay / L'Oreal and what exactly went on through their partnership. So, cool missed, cool exit. Skindinavia breaks silence on Urban Decay split. So fascinating. Let me take some time to read this real quick. So I spent like a fucking hour. Actually, you know what I did? I read the article. I initially filmed a TikTok, and then my TikTok deleted it. I was so pissed. I was all done. I was editing it. And, yeah, after I dissected the whole article, all the footage got deleted. So I had to do it again. So if you guys follow me on TikTok, you would see the lump summary of what we're about to go through. So this is in, what is it, Beauty Matter. BeautyMatter.com is where you can find this article. If I don't read it in full, you can read it in full on there. But I think this little Instagram post just has, like, the snippets. So Skindinavia, they're making posts, but they're not verbally saying anything, like they're not making videos or anything like that. So this is what the article says. It basically gives like the key points of their relationship, like how the relationship started, how their working relationship was throughout the years, and then it ultimately gets down to the fall of the partnership as a whole. So this all starts back in 2007, which, thinking of that, I'm just like, wow, that seems like so long ago, right? It's really not, but it feels like it. So, yeah, 15 years after a collaboration, I gotta switch my screen so I can read this a little bit better. After 15 years of collaboration, Urban Decay has ended its long-standing partnership with Skindinavia, the indie brand behind the cult favorite formula that powered the blockbuster Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. This news broke at the start of this week on Skindinavia's Instagram, which is the post that we just went through, following several social media posts from Urban Decay, which is the advertising that we're talking about, and everybody's losing their shit in the social media posts, about the product relaunch and reformulation. Much to the industry's surprise, most of all Skindinavia founder Alan Goldman. Wait, most of all... Oh, okay. I just totally read that wrong. Most of all. So basically, it's like, surprise, bitch. This is the launch that we're having, and it's a surprise to everybody, including Skindinavia and Alan Goldman, who is the owner of Skindinavia. So this all starts back in 2007. Alan has this idea, fascinating concept, doesn't really have much experience with cosmetics or anything like that. He just, on a bachelor trip, minding his own business. I'm going to just briefly recap what I said on my TikTok, I guess. So it says, he's basically on a trip, has this idea of the cooling technology, and then decides, this is what we're going to fucking do. Like, became fascinated by it, developed it, and then eventually sold this to Ulta to be released into Ulta stores. I'm going to bypass all, like, the nitty-gritty specifics because you can see it on the screen if we want to read it. So I'm just going to paraphrase a lot of this right now, just so we aren't here for 200 years. But basically, thought of an idea, developed it, let me pitch it to Ulta, let's get into Ulta stores. So eventually, he did. I think it was not even a year later. Skindinavia was available in Ulta Beauty. But it didn't go that great for Skindinavia because nobody really knew who the fuck they were, aside from makeup artists and celebrities, which at the time you would think that would have been huge. Like, Madonna was wearing it. Like, high profile makeup artists were using their products, so you would think like people would be all over it, because back in 2007, 2008, celebrities were the influencers, That's why I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy that it eventually got pulled out of Ulta because it just wasn't selling. And then Alan, who's the owner of Skindinavia, like I said, he tried pitching it to Sephora, and Sephora would not even take it because of the history with Ulta. Like, if the sales aren't there, like, why the fuck would Sephora take it? You know what I'm saying? So that all falls apart. Alan thinks he's going out of business. And he ends up meeting Urban Decay at the 2008 Ulta charity golf tournament, I think it was. So this is not even a year later, right? Yeah, we were just in 2007. So this happened relatively quick. So at this golf tournament, this is where the relationship begins with Urban Decay, which it's just like, you know, this would have been so, it's just also unfortunate because if it never was acquired and like the same people were still there and, you know, brands just had overall morals, like, it just fucking sucks. How are you guys feeling about this so far? Like, am I describing this okay? Are you guys interested in what the hell's going on? Do you guys even care? I don't know why I care so much about this, but I'm just so fascinated by it. Stephanie says, "Hey girlfriend, love your hair. Thanks, girl. Glad you're doing a video. It's wild." It really is. And that's where I, like, as soon as I logged onto YouTube, I'm like, nobody's posted about, I could not find one video on the subject. So I was like, maybe YouTube's just catching up. Maybe everybody's doing their videos. I was honestly shocked that Jen Loves didn't have a video yet because I thought she would be fucking on it, but I'm sure she will be. Anyways, where are we? 2008. So the relationship begins with Urban Decay and Skindinavia. So it all starts with Urban Decay loves the product. They meet. They tell him how much they love it. Again, I'm paraphrasing. And I was going to say they, but I want to make sure you guys know who I'm talking about. Urban Decay wanted to use the products, which are Skindinavia, use the setting sprays, at their West Coast stations for Urban Decay. So they're expressing an interest. They want to have those products there. So Alan explains in this interview that initially, like, it's all fine and great. Like, it's a really cool opportunity. He's super grateful for the opportunity. However, it's not really for the money aspect. Like, very cool opportunity to be carried through Urban Decay. But then again, you also have to ask yourself, like, does this financially make sense? Because your goal in business is to make money. That's everybody's goal in business. So it initially wasn't making any money. So since Urban Decay loved it so much, Alan figures, why not just pitch this to Urban Decay, which is what he did in, was it 2009? Let me see if I can find, oh, you son of a bitch. Let me see if I can find the dates really quick, because I feel like the dates are important to give you guys the relatively timeline. Or the relative timeline. Oh, I could skip ahead one. Look at me go. Oh, let's see. The way that Alan described it, when he was initially working with Urban Decay, I was sending about 24 bottles at a time for what it cost to make. It wasn't about money. So that tells me, yeah, you're not making any money. It was a real honor. After that, I was still failing as a brand and pretty much close to being out of business, so I had an idea. After a pitch meeting with Urban Decay founder, I think it's Wendy Zamnier, is that correct? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. And the product development team, the deal was sealed. I said, Wendy, you take this and sell it to Sephora and Ulta Beauty. Beginning with a $100,000 order for 25,000 units, the partnership was firmly in place, and to Goldman's humble surprise, it only grew from there. So this is when everything fucking exploded. Because it does say that initially, Alan wasn't really sure, like, how long everything was going to last. He really wasn't expecting to hear back from Urban Decay after that initial order, just because as a small business, you're thinking, okay, that's a lot of fucking, like, that's a lot of setting sprays. 25,000 units? You know how hard it is to sell 25,000 units? Well, in less than a month, Urban Decay came back for 5 times the amount. I don't know, I guess hearing these numbers, I'm just like, wow, this is so fascinating. I think maybe that's why I'm so, like, deeply invested in this, because I'm like, I just think this is so cool to hear all about the business aspects. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So they have that initial purchase order, they come back, they buy more. So then it's like, okay, this is a partnership, cool, this is, like, everything's great. Alan even expresses his love, appreciation, and not only like a relatively recent TikTok, like I think it was in April, which is also fascinating to look at once we go through this. You're going to understand why I'm saying that. Because in April, like, he's always raved about Urban Decay. He's always had great things to say about Urban Decay. In any video that he mentions them, he's always like, our friends at Urban Decay, blah, blah. Which, I mean, to some people, they might be like, well, yeah, why wouldn't he be like that? But I don't know. I guess just looking at everything as a whole now, like, as the story unfolds, I'm like, nah, it seemed like one of the partners were a really good partner and the other one just kind of did the other dirty. And that's just how I'm going to choose to feel about it. So, within the partnership's first year, they were selling a few 100,000 units, which, think about how many that is. That's so much. It's crazy. And I'm like, oh, that's so much money. I love it. And then Alan proceeds to say, Wendy and the team there treated me with nothing but respect. They're good people. They're innovative. They took chances. They paid their bills. We had no issues. I feel like him stating that, it goes against everything. Like, it not goes against everything. It goes against what you would think about L'Oreal. Like, I feel like it's like subtle shade. And again, I'm here for it. So this is what they call like the golden period. Like, everybody's thriving. It explains in the article that they were getting calls directly from Sephora at the time, receiving direct calls from other major retailers. Like, people wanted this product because of how popular it was. And just the fact that it is so highly, it's so highly coveted. It's crazy. And then in 2012, this is when L'Oreal acquires Urban Decay. And this is where we see, obviously, the shift in things that are happening. And it's just... It's like sad reading this because I'm like, I know what's coming. So L'Oreal acquires Urban Decay in 2012, which, okay, cool. Like, I'm sure Alan was really excited because you think like, okay, things are going really great. Like, why would anything change? Well, unfortunately, a lot of shit can change in such a short little time. So within this time frame between the acquisition and I think it goes from 2012 to 2019. The market just completely blows. Like, it completely blows up. Like, you've got so many new brands, so many new, like, innovative products, so many more just setting sprays. Like, just think from 2012 to 2019. In those 7 years, how many new products, how many new brands are probably coming to the forefront and all that shit. So it's like, all right, yeah, I could definitely see his point of view of like, yeah, we got a lot more competition now. And it's a lot harder to stand out. And being that L'Oreal owns so many different companies, now L'Oreal is concerned about the money aspect. Like, how much stuff is going to cost. They're going to try to cut costs. Obviously, when you cut costs, you're trying to make more money, higher profits. As a business, you love that. And as a business, why wouldn't you want to do that? So I'm like, you can't blame L'Oreal for doing what they did next, because this is where they're going to try to manufacture the product, which... any brand is going to propose this, especially a bigger company. So as a result of the entire industry exploding, L'Oreal proposed manufacturing Skindinavia's formula in-house for a royalty agreement. So initially, Alan is very standoffish about it because, one, he had this long-standing relationship with the Pennsylvania factory that he's always used. And then for two, he worried that he would lose control of the formula, which we will later find out that is pretty much exactly what happened. So he had valid reasons for feeling the way that he was feeling because, I mean, he wasn't fucking wrong, right? So eventually he does agree because he said that he would not do this agreement without the blessing from the original manufacturer. So in the article, it also says the original factory was basically going to train the new factory, so they didn't lose control of the formula, like, basically so everybody knew what the hell was going on. So it's like, all right, you've put all this work into it, now you're in-house, and now things are going to start changing because now the warehouse is moving. And then when everything moves, Alan starts noticing, hey, there's, like, people that are usually here that aren't here anymore, and, you know, people aren't really communicating like they used to. So it was just like things started to slowly change. And he was catching on to it, but it was like, okay, whatever. Maybe, I'm assuming. So, where am I in the article? So let's see. The founder explained that it was during this time frame that he began to be blindsided by the brand. So Alan is starting to feel blindsided by Urban Decay. There we go. Hold on, let me spray my face first. How are you guys feeling about this delivery right now? Let me check in with you guys, because I feel like I'm talking a whole shit ton and y'all aren't saying nothing. Alexandria said, someone at Urban Decay is shady and dirty. I mean, damn. I'll be listening to the rest at work tomorrow. I have to go to bed for work in the morning. Sucks being an adult. I know, adulting is so overrated. So, hello, as you're watching before work. Or at work. I love it. So, let's see. Next he says, to be honest, I don't think anyone retained the brand's legacy and the brand story. As time went on, I tried to get in there and kept telling them things from my end, sharing the story and new ideas, but the doors were kind of closed. At present, I have not spoken to product development at Urban Decay for 4 or 5 years. I have a list of outgoing emails. Some even say, are you still there? Which, that's crazy. Like, this is supposed to be a partner of the company, and there's very, very little communication going on. So it's almost like a partnership that isn't really a partnership. Or, I mean, I feel like L'Oreal was treating it as he's more like a silent partner, and that's not, from obviously Alan's perspective, this is not what it was. Like, he wasn't a silent partner. This was a partnership where each party had a part in the launches or whatever. So then after several attempts to speak with Urban Decay, Goldman was told that the brand was solely focusing on color cosmetics for the time being. So this was what, 2019? Okay. This is just a little highlight that we'll get through a little bit later. So this is where the breakdown of trust really starts. 2023, Goldman began noticing clear signs of turbulence in the partnership between Skindinavia and Urban Decay. Urban Decay launched new setting sprays. I thought this was so interesting because, one, I didn't remember a vitamin C and watermelon variation launching. But in the midst of all these fucking launches, how can you keep up? So Urban Decay launched 2 variations of a setting spray without any involvement from Skindinavia. Isn't that fucking crazy? That's the partner that brought them the formula, and y'all ain't gonna fill them in when you're doing a variation of a setting spray? What? I think that, I don't know, to me, I'm just like, that's fucking crazy. That alone is crazy. Alan said he saw the products come out, and I said, guys, what are you doing? You're launching this without me, and now we're weird competitors? Valid. We have a legendary product. Our agreement is to work together. I'm trying to, like, remove all the filler words that are in here just to kind of keep the story going. The founder fairly gives credit where credit is due. At the same time, this is in quotes, at the same time, with all due respect to them, they were paying me, they gave me a forecast, so it was still lucrative, but there was no working relationship, so this is in 2023. Let me grab my bronzer real quick. Now, this is where we're getting to the beginning of the end. So now we're in February of 2025, which I'm like, it's so crazy living through this moment right now because it's not long ago. Like, we're in fucking July, so this is what? Not even 6 months ago? Crazy. Goldman became aware that he was, what he calls the first inkling the relationship was over. When a vendor called him to ask why, there had been several canceled orders for raw materials of which he knew nothing about, which, as a partner, like, how are you getting these phone calls? And nobody's filling you in on it, like, oh, that we're canceling orders? Like, what? I don't know. This is where I'm like, this is just where the story gets crazy. And it gets even crazier. After hearing several more rumblings of other cancellations, he had a strong feeling the partnership would cease to exist by the end of the year. But instead of bringing it up, he chose to focus on what he would do next with the business should this be the outcome. Which, I get it. In business, you know, partnerships fall apart all the time. It's not uncommon whatsoever. So I don't blame Alan for being like, okay, yeah, let me figure some shit out first before I blow this up and potentially lose it maybe faster than what I'm expecting. Like, let me get my ducks in a row, if you will. So, the next thing. He's also not overly concerned about it because he knows he has a patent, which in, like, when fucking designing products and stuff like that, a patent, that's like your go-to to not have to fucking worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he's thinking to himself, I have this patent product. They can't do the same thing. So there's going to be customers who I know want it and I know where they are. So he's relatively confident. Like, if I'm on my own, I'll be fine. I just gotta get some shit in order. That's how I take it when I'm reading this. So now we're May of 2025. Just a couple months ago. This is where Alan, owner of Skindinavia, decides to confront Urban Decay and say, yo, what the fuck is going on, right? Because at this point, you're just like, all right, you're not communicating nothing. You know something, like, he's picking up what they're putting down, if you will. So he's like, all right, what's going on? And he didn't initially get, like, a response as far as, I feel like he might have been getting either the runaround or they just weren't returning his calls or something. But eventually, at some point, somebody that had the ability to tell him the relationship was going to cease to exist within the year or, like, in the near future or something. Where's the fucking terminology in here? Where are we? Hold on, where is it? I'm like, where am I in this article? Oh, it just says within a year. Goldman explained that the contract between the two companies stated that he has to be informed of the termination 6 months in advance. Mind you, this is May of 25. This is just a couple months ago. So at minimum, he needs 6 months for the termination. And then as well, this is according to their contract, he also is to be given an official 90-day notice. So, this is less than 90 days ago now, isn't it? Right? Or it's pretty fucking close. So in the following weeks, he doesn't really hear nothing. He's like, all right, this is relatively time sensitive. I better follow up on this. So he's being persistent, but he gets it. Like, this says he sees the writing on the wall. That's what it is. So this is where I'm just like, wow, I didn't think it could get crazier, but it's about to get crazier. So initially they said, Alan, this is really around the corner. By the following week, the writing just wasn't on the wall, it was on social media. The following week, they start promoting that they're reformulating a new formula, right? Friends started forwarding posts from Urban Decay teasing, so they weren't promoting it yet, but they were teasing a relaunch, and I thought, what is going on here? What are they reformulating? Why would you even do that to such product? Okay. What he saw next, I would have blown a fucking gasket. Alan, I'm just gonna tell you, if you watch this, you're a better person than me. I feel like I would have lit shit on fire. Because I could not imagine this part right here. So they're teasing the product, and then eventually they tease temperature control technology. Remember I told you to remember that? And here's Alan. Wait a fucking minute. That sounds awfully familiar. What's going on here? Yeah, that's our patent. That's literally what I sold to you in 2007. And he quotes, this is how you keep makeup in place. You cool it. Everyone else seals it. That's why it works. Literally what he sold Urban Decay in 2007. So I'm like, yo, this is what I'm doing. This is getting crazy. But it gets better. The promotion content only escalated the frustration, which, can you believe it? Like, duh. Anybody would be so mad about that. So, the shift in messaging felt not only personal but disrespectful, as it fucking should, because it is. So he's reading it and he's thinking, what's going on here? If you want to, like, redo the whole thing, whatever. Like, I feel like he's being relatively understanding when he's being interviewed, like, just the things that he's saying. So, what happened to this partnership? Like, what the fuck? We're supposed to be partners. Why haven't we discussed any of this? No, you're trying to cut me the fuck out. Shocker. Shocker. Big business wants to cut out a small business. But it's fine. So, when he saw those posts, he couldn't stay silent no more, and that's when he eventually had announced that initial Instagram post that we talked about. So, this is, to me, where it gets crazy. I shouldn't say where it gets crazy. It's just fucking crazy in general. Quiet because I'm so invested and listen to what you're saying. Keep going. Everyone's invested. So, yeah, this is where I'm just like, it's just a whole lot of bad shit, right? So not only is Urban Decay literally using the same name that they have always used in the partnership together, but they're also taking his fucking idea, which would be so infuriating. Like, could you imagine being Alan? But you know what my favorite part about this whole thing is? This right here. I cried laughing. Not literally, but it was so funny to me because here I go. Because I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to support Skindinavia. So, go on the website. I'm like, can I move this over? You guys see that saying right there? According to Skindinavia, I was the first one to clock it, and I'm like, wow, y'all need a sense of humor, because when you need to pull an all-nighter as the headline on their social or on their fucking website, iconic. I love this. This is why I'm like, I'm so fucking here for this. You go Glen Coco, you go Skindinavia. I'm here. I'm here for it. Skindinavia will be there, patented, trusted since 2005. Yes, bitch. So, product promo, Skindinavia. We love her. Love all their formulas. Bridal is my personal favorite, but I love them all. Fantastic. Okay? So that was my first favorite thing. I should say my first favorite thing was their initial post, because I was just like, wow. It's got to be so fucking scary as such a small business. It's like you're literally going up against a conglomerate. Like, think of how many brands that L'Oreal owns, and you're like, yeah, let me try them. But this was my next favorite thing. So now I'm like, let me see what else I can find. Not Skindinavia in the comment section of all their recent posts. Well done. Looks amazing. Where do incredible ideas like that come from? Everybody do it with me. Slow clap for Skindinavia, because this is fucking iconic. I cannot even. I think this is so hilarious. Just troll the shit out of them. I love it. I feel like I missed like a key component of what I was supposed to be talking about today. It's fine though. I'm going to keep going. Another one. Congrats on the launch. What is makeup setting spray? We haven't heard of them before. The pettiness. It's the pettiness for me. Like, this is the level of trolling and pettiness that I strive for. Because just imagine how mad you would be about this. You worked for 15 fucking years for this big ass brand to come in, cut them out, take their manufacturing. I mean, you can't say they took it because Alan did agree to it. But you know what I mean. Like, they were definitely being deceitful, and that's fucked up. And, I mean, you know what situation this reminded me of? The fucking Makeup Geek Jaclyn Hill situation. Because it's like, you know, like certain aspects you're like, all right, maybe Alan could have known better or done better. Fine. But you're a small fucking business. It's just like James Charles talking to underage people. Not a great comparison, but you have a power imbalance. You, as a small business, have the opportunity to manufacture with L'Oreal. You're just going to be like, no. What? Like, you can't blame them for saying yes. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're being reassured. Like, I don't know. Like, it's understandable to a point why Alan would be like, yeah. And especially if it's lucrative, like, why the fuck wouldn't you? And then if you're thinking, all right, for how many years this has been such a great relationship, why would you feel like it would be different? But then after your agreement is done and over with, then shit changes. I'd be like, fuck. I don't know. I would love to know what you guys think about this, because as of right now, we have not seen the other side of the story. So, I mean, I said in my TikTok, like, there's 2 sides to every story, but realistically, there are 3. There's both sides, and then there's the truth. So, it does say at the end of this article, they did reach out to L'Oreal and Urban Decay for comment. I cannot wait to see if there's another side to the story. Because realistically, I feel like if this was just bad business as far as, like, if Alan fucked up with the contracts or something like that, which that's where I was saying, like, it kind of reminds me of the makeup geek Jaclyn Hill. Like, I feel like that situation would have been way bigger if there was, like, a breach in contract, but Marlena has always been able to admit where she fucked up, whereas I feel like in this situation, like, there were contracts in place. There might not have been, like, an expiration date, if you will. Like, I saw, you know, the owner of Farsali, he's always talking about, like, business deals and stuff like that and giving his perspective. And the way that he was explaining it, he was saying, like, every licensing agreement has an expiration date, but it's like, in this situation, it doesn't seem like there was one. And if there were to be one, all that needed to be done was to communicate, and that would have been fine. But that's not what happened here. It's as simple as, you took my manufacturing, you knew what you were doing, and then you cut me out, and then you're not even giving me the appropriate amount of time to figure shit out for my small business. And that's where I'm just like, yo, that shit ain't cool with me. That shit ain't cool with me, Urban Decay. So naturally, that's where I get too invested. And I run my mouth about it on the internet. So there's that. How do you guys feel about this? Like, does it make you feel a certain type of way towards L'Oreal or Urban Decay? Are you just like, no, I'm not really surprised? Are you feeling like Skindinavia was in the wrong? Because I don't at all. I'm team Skindinavia all day long on this one, and I'm over here like, what can I do to help them flourish at this time? Because I really feel like this is going to be their time. Did I miss anything? Like, anybody, did you guys know this was going on? I'm so curious because it doesn't seem like anybody's heard about it over here. Guys, what the hell-y? Just bought a bottle of Skindinavia on Amazon. Boom! Yes. So that was one thing I did actually reach out to the owners. I was like, can you give me like a list of retailers or something so I could pass it along to my audience and stuff? So what they recommend, they said the best places to purchase them, at least as of right now, would be through the Skindinavia website, which I do recommend because you usually get full size, or not full size, you get like really good size travel samples for free. And I think the shipping is free if you spend over a certain amount. Or the next best place would be Amazon. And you can get, like when I checked yesterday, I could get overnight shipping. Like I would have gotten it today if I ordered it yesterday. So if you're looking for something with fast shipping, I would definitely try Amazon. I do have a bunch linked down below. I think I've got Beautylish, Camera Ready Cosmetics. There was two other, Amazon. It's also available on TikTok Shop if you're a fan of TikTok Shop. I feel like I've had good experiences shopping because I get way too wrapped up in TikTok Shop videos and I buy way more shit than I probably should on there. It's fine. But do you guys think after hearing about this whole scenario that Urban Decay will be affected by it? Or do you think, like, do you guys care? Like, are you like, nah, I'm still just gonna buy I look really orange right now. I promise I don't look like this in real life. It's, you know what it is? It's because I'm wearing this pink. Whenever I wear colors, it could be this too. Whenever I wear bright colors, it throws off my white balance and I forgot to adjust it today. So, yeah, I'm just curious, like, does this make you not want to support Urban Decay, or does it make you not want to support just their new all-nighter launch? Like, I could assure you at this point, like, after reading that article, if there's not a response from Urban Decay, like, claiming some sort of discrepancy with that story, like, if Alan's story shows to be true, I will not purchase the new Urban Decay all-nighter. Like, I don't even care if it's so-called is better. For them to do this to a small business, I just don't, I'm not going to support that. And obviously you guys are free to do what you want, and I feel like there are going to be the people that are like, nobody fucking cares. It's, brands aren't people, is what people will always say, but I feel like there is always an exception when it comes to small business, just because maybe this is just the small business owner in me, but owning a business is fucking hard, man. And, you know, it takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of dedication, a lot of fucking money, and to see a brand do such a good thing, like, I don't know, like, to me Skindinavia earned that formula, and it really irritates my core to see Urban Decay just get away with it. Like, I really hope that something, you know what I wish would happen? I wish the retailers wouldn't sell it. I wish they would be like, you know what, you can reformulate fine, but we're going to get in the middle of this because we've worked with both of you. I wish the retailers would do that, but they're not going to. This is what's going to happen, and I feel like this is where it's going to backfire. I got to pluck my eyebrows back there, because this is why I trim them. I like pulling my eyebrows out more. This is why I think it's going to backfire. Urban Decay was hoping that people didn't notice that Skindinavia was no longer involved, and everybody would have went out and repurchased because of how much they love this, okay? Now that people know what's going on, or now that people know what's happened, and now that Skindinavia's side of the story is out, I think it's about to blow up in their face. What do you guys think? Give me something. Y'all are so quiet. I thought we would be, like, popping off at the mouth. What do we think? Give me something. Because I need a breather from talking for about 5 seconds. I'm trying to think of what else I was going to tell you guys. I think this whole situation, too, has been... It's been really cool for me because I've been so deeply invested in it. Like, I have learned so much more about Skindinavia. So if you guys aren't following them on social media, I started watching, like, a bunch of their TikToks and stuff. Just learning about the technology and how fascinating that whole thing is, and just how it's different than everything else. The patent of all of it. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me where I'm like, I think this stuff is so cool to learn about. But... maybe other people don't care that much. But if you're wanting to learn more about the brand, I would definitely recommend checking out their social media, especially, I don't know, like, I'm really biased to TikTok. I was such a hater for such a long time, and now I fucking love TikTok because I feel like I get so much valuable information so quickly. Sandy's asking, what's the original formula? I always use the original formula and prefer it. So... this is what I'm gathering. Nothing has really come out yet, but I did a comparison over on TikTok of the ingredient lists of the bridal spray compared to the original all-nighter. They're almost identical. There's a couple things that are, like, in different places, and then, like, a couple added or subtracted ingredients, but they're very, very similar. So the bridal to me is my favorite because it's the most long-lasting, and I feel like it just gives me everything that I want in, like, a setting spray, you know? It's technically a finishing spray, but it gives me a setting spray. It's going to make my makeup last, and I can't wait to try it again because it's been a really long time since I've had the Skindinavia spray. I can't wait to experience that cooling technology again because I'm like, I can't really remember it, you know what I mean? I just remember my makeup not fucking budging when I would wear that stuff. And I always had it, like, when I used to freelance, I always had Skindinavia in my kit because it just gave the most beautiful skin-like finish, the bridal version. I feel like the original, like, the makeup finishing spray, non-bridal version, I feel like that one is a little bit more mattifying. Not crazy, but it's just a little bit more mattifying than the bridal version. I feel like bridal, like, if you like how my skin looks right now, like how it looks very skin-like, little bit of dewiness, but not too much, I feel like this would be like a similar type effect, but just obviously with a setting spray on top. It's gonna give you that slight amount of, I'm gonna say dewiness, but it's not overly dewy where it's like sweaty, sticky. It gives you that bridal-esque sort of vibe, and then it's gonna withstand the environments and climates and stuff like that. So I think overall, I'm trying to remember because I actually reached out to Skindinavia just for, like, more information because I wanted to pass it along to you guys. But it was like some things they couldn't really elaborate on, which I get it. There's probably, like, legal action, stuff like that. From my understanding, it does seem like they're probably going to launch another one. They didn't say that, but I'm just kind of like, they're saying that the original formula is here to stay, so I feel like something might be coming, but I'm not positive. I'm just kind of filling in holes that I think are there. Does that make sense? They didn't come out and say, like, oh, we're going to launch a new one. They were just saying, like, the ones that are in existence they're not identical, because Urban Decay does have its own special formula. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you guys get it. I really like the bridal too. This hair color is beautiful. Thank you. You look like you're glowing between your pink shirt and your blush and highlights in the front. You look radiant. You look radiant. Thanks, girl. It's that It's that new bride look that I'm going to have this coming week. So I have been testing. This is a little side note. I've been testing this. I think I've worn this 2 or 3 times now. L'Oreal Skin Ink, because like I said in the beginning of my video, I am doing my vow renewal next week. And I still have no idea what products I'm going to use. I feel like this looks pretty good on my skin, but this is not going to be bridal. I feel like the undertone's a little off. It sits a little weird, like I'm noticing on my nose. See how it looks like it's a little heavy on my nose? I feel like on my face it looks like the perimeters. I feel like I look very yellow though. Like this is, like undertone wise, this is a little off for me. For how many fucking ads I've seen on this, I'm like, alright, I see because of the formula, like, the formula is actually pretty good. I feel like L'Oreal usually does pretty good at formulation for foundations. But the undertone, I'm like, this is supposed to be neutral, and I feel like it's warm. And the shade range isn't overly impressive. I mean, for a drugstore and the amount of shades that they have, it's fine. It's just, I feel like I couldn't find an exact match. So I went a little bit darker because I am going on vacation. I know I'm going to get a tan, so that's where I'm like, all right, this one will probably work. But this is definitely not going to be, like, wedding foundation, though. That's a nah. Ooh, their website is 20% off. Free 2 to 5 day shipping. Let me pull that up for you guys. I'm just like, this makes me laugh every time I look at it. I'm just like, how iconic, though. When you need to pull an all-nighter. All right, let me run through these really quick. So, if you didn't know, if you've never seen Skindinavia before, welcome to one of the best companies ever for setting spray. Packaging's phenomenal, product is phenomenal, highly recommend, and I've recommended them for literally years. So, their original formula, they've got the original setting spray, or let me rephrase. They have the original makeup finishing spray. They also have an oil control spray, and then they also have a finishing bridal spray. They also have prep sprays as well. So the main focus I feel like for this brand is their finishing sprays. That's, you know, that's their bread and butter. But they did eventually add the prep sprays as well. So if you are interested, let me just give you my take on these options. So I think if you have oily skin, obviously there is the original and oil control makeup primer spray. If you have oily skin, go with oil control. We can use common sense, right? So the makeup primer spray, it's just a simple spray. Let me read. Let me read about what it is. Experience a lightweight cooling makeup primer. So this also has that cooling technology. So both $28. Original formula, oil control formula. Make sure you're choosing wisely because they look fairly similar. Look at Miss Nikki Tutorials. Look at 2018. 2020. This is crazy. Oh, that's Wayne Goss. We love Wayne Goss. I was trying to find the deets. I covered this on my TikTok as well, if you guys didn't see it. So, the main purpose and benefits of the primer spray. Even out skin tone, reduce the amount of redness, decrease appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, regulate excess oil production, lock in moisture. Formula is silicone-free, paraben-free, vitamin-based, and hypoallergenic. All Skindinavia products are cruelty-free and vegan, and they're also made in the United States. Didn't know that until I watched Alan's TikToks over it. So that's the original priming spray. And then the oil control, it's a relatively comparable as far as the benefits. Water-based formula, reduce fine lines and wrinkles, smoothen out skin, decrease the appearance of pores, no redness, silicone and paraben-free, vitamin-based, hypoallergenic, complete coverage. You get it. But our oil control primer is formulated for sensitive skin and perfect option for those with oil control issues. So this is going to be more for the mattifying aspect. Like if you are definitely an oily girly, go with the oil control. Like I said, common sense. I had some people really asking me to do the breakdown and I'm like, common sense, guys. Oil control. Why would somebody need oil control? Because you're oily, right? But I feel like these are ideal for all skin types, so I'm like, I ain't mad at it, though. I'll explain it. Okay. So for the finishing sprays, you've got the original formula, oil control, and bridal. So finishing spray, ideal if you're working a long shift, have a dinner meeting or a date night after work, creating a fabulous look for an actor, artist, performer who not only works long hours, but often does so under bright and hot lights. So you're going to have that cooling technology. But this one, I think it's technically like 16-hour approved. So this is just like, we'll say this. This is your standard finishing spray, right? So then if you're oily and you want a standard finishing spray, go with the oil control. It's going to give you more of a matte look. The bridal finishing spray, this is where you're going to get your waterproof option. This is also why I really like this one, because if you know you're going to be sweating balls, or if it's going to be raining or something like that, this is going to withstand the elements the absolute best. So you get the long wear aspect. Also, did not know this either until I started watching their TikToks, that this is the only true bridal spray on the market, like across the whole market, which I'm just like, what? You would think every single makeup artist would have this just because of that aspect. But, yeah, I just thought that was really cool. Really cool fun fact. Other benefits of the bridal setting spray include the only true bridal formula on the market, oil and paraben-free, hypoallergenic, lets the skin breathe and doesn't clog pores, prevents fading and color shifting, and then, again, all Skindinavia products are cruelty-free and vegan. So, if you have never heard of Skindinavia before, this was really the key selling point and the key part of the technology is to be able to withstand the elements and stuff like that, but the preventing the fading and color shifting. Like, the way that Alan explains it in the TikTok videos is a lot of other makeup sprays, they seal the face, whereas Skindinavia, it's going to still let your skin breathe, and it's almost putting like, I want to say like a veil over it. It's not doing the same thing. And I don't want to elaborate too much on it because I feel like he explains it way better than I can. So, yeah, like I said, if you're interested in these products or anything like that, definitely recommend checking out all their social media, just because it's better to hear it from, you know, the horse's mouth than somebody that's just reiterating it. And he can explain it way better than I can, quite frankly. So there's that too. So, I don't know, have you guys tried this before? Let us know what you guys think of it. Let's see. O says, I really like the bridal hair color. Oh, I already read that one. Thanks, girl. I just saw an ad for the L'Oreal product and was wondering about it. Like, I don't think it's bad. I think it actually lasts pretty good. I'm still testing it, but like I said, I'm testing products right now to be like, all right, is this what I want to wear for my wedding? And this one, I'm just like, I feel like it's like, see how that sits really weird on my nose? Not a fan of that. And this also dries really quickly. So when you saw me apply it, I think maybe that's what happened on my nose. When you see me apply it, I applied it in one section, blend it out. Apply it in one section, blend it out. Because this is like a self-setting formula as well. I feel like I probably don't need to set that with powder, but it's habit at this point. Let's see. No cooling, dewy. I mean, they're all technically cooling. That's part of the technology. And if you want something more dewy, I would say bridal is for perfectionists. Yeah, I would say if you're looking for more dewy, I would go with bridal. That would just be my recommendation. But guys, y'all are so quiet. I mean, there's not a ton of you watching. I wasn't expecting there would be a ton of people just because it's been a while since I've been on TikTok. And don't mind this makeup application too much. I was more focused on what I was actually talking about versus my makeup itself, but I figure I'll keep all of us entertained and do this at the same time. So I promise my makeup application is not always this subpar. I do makeup much better when I'm like, if I'm just recording it. So don't be surprised if you guys start seeing more of my videos in like a pre-filmed format and stuff like that, because I do want to be more active. It's just lives I feel like are going to be a lot more difficult for me to do right now. So I feel like filmed content will be probably much easier, or I'll just be posting at random ass times. So if you guys aren't opposed to that either, please let me know, because I definitely do prefer doing live streams over that. So there's that. Just ordered the bridal spray. I've been needing a new one, and my husband is going to be dragging me to college football games in the Texas heat. Oh yeah, you better get you a bridal spray. Or if you're oily, get the oil control, girl. Oh, I hope you love it. If you guys do get it, let us know what you guys think of it in the comments. Bridal for a win. Yes. That was actually, it was either Alan or their social media person, because people are naturally very curious about the products. I'm going to go over to their Instagram right now, because people are starting to ask more about like the formulas and stuff like that, and I hope to see them do videos kind of further explaining about like the formulas and how they compare to maybe other formulas. Because I feel like the primer sprays, there was one that was comparable to the D-Slick. I can't remember. I don't want to tell you the wrong information, so I can't remember. But even if you just go in the comment section of any of their posts, you could see people asking the same questions that you have. And then if you guys have any questions down below, hopefully the Skindinavia team will see this video and leave your comments down there too, and maybe they'll respond. That would be really cool. But I do see them responding to comments on not only TikTok, Instagram. So if you do have questions, feel free to leave them there. But I really hope this was fun for you guys to listen to. I hope it blew your mind as much as it did for me. I mean, it's like, it blows your mind, but you're like, are people really that fucking shitty? You know? Because it doesn't blow my mind in the sense of like, yeah, another big business just drove out a small business so they can make more money. Like, why is that a surprise? But I'm like, damn. Y'all were together for 15 years. It's like a real life breakup. Y'all were together for 15 years and you did them dirty like that? What? After everything that they did for you? That's how I feel about this right now. Way too deeply invested. If I come across anything else, I'll be sure to post about it. Definitely on TikTok. If you guys want me to come back and cover anything else, feel free to let me know. But other than that, I will hopefully see you all in my next one. And happy rewatching, because I already know that this was a hot fucking mess. So, alright guys, I'll see you in my next one. Bye!